Welcome back to the catch up here on Cris Cyborg's YouTube channel. I am James Lynch. She is Cris Cyborg. Cris, how's it going? How are you?
I'm doing great, James. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Glad we're back-to-back weeks here. I know we were off for a little bit, but very excited to talk to you. And there's so much to get into. Before we get into all the news, though, got to remind our audience, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. Cris, you were in Texas this week. Let our audience know what you were doing over there. You're always traveling. I think that's so cool.
I know. After the fight, I didn't stop. Travel. So I went to Texas because it's like my brother. When he moved to America, I was roommate to Paul Song, and then we lived together. And now he's open one gym, the Kyoto Range. He did it in Houston. So we have the Grand Open. Rafael Cordeiro, he was doing the seminar there. Paul is an under black belt from Rafael. It was very nice to see him and the success and see all the students. It's going to be, it was amazing to be there with him.
That's great. Very cool. You got to go check out that gym like you just mentioned. Cris, so we did the show last week and we were talking about all the possibilities of PFL and all this different stuff. And then right after we recorded, the news broke that Kayla Harrison leaving PFL, fighting Holly Holm in the UFC. How surprised were you? Because it seemed like when we were talking, it seemed like you and Kayla was still a possibility.
No, I found out the same time you guys found out, and and the video that Dan White said she's gonna fight Holly next. I was really surprised, really.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. When did you find out that the PFL then took away the featherweight division? That was another big blow as well. You figured with you coming over, probably they would want to keep that division going.
Then when they got a Bellator, they don't have to have featherweight. They just bring what's have the Bellator. Bellator have the best featherweight, in the sport. So they have to just continue what is Bellator doing. It's really
okay. So is it your understanding they're going to keep featherweight, but just in Bellator? Because we saw Corey Anderson's going to be fighting under the Bellator banner against Carl Moore for like under Bellator. Are you still under contract with Bellator/PFL, but just for Bellator? Is that your understanding?
I really don't know what's going to happen. It's just so messy, all this. Mm-hmm. Like about Kayla Harrison too, I just figured out she was with UFC when Dan White announced. Mm-hmm. And the Christmas then telling me, okay, can you fight Kayla? I say yes. So I'm like you guys. I just watching what's going on,
Yeah, and that's got to be disappointing. Like you just came over to the promotion, they bought Bellator, and it seemed like you guys were working together on a Kayla fight, and then this happens. This must be very frustrating for you.
The reality, they just call my team, say, okay, you can fight Kayla next. I say yes. They say, okay, February. I say yes. They're gonna send the contract. We don't have it like the relationship is really like we start to talk a little bit more. But it's being a lot of difficult. So
okay, well, hopefully that all works out. But back to the Kayla fight against Holly. How do you think Kayla will do? Because obviously the big thing with this fight isn't even the matchup. It's can she make 135? That's going down 2 weight classes. That's pretty crazy.
No, she's. I believe she's. Did one interview. My team say she's saying she's gonna make the weight. I think Holly gonna beat Kayla. Not just about cut weight, because when you cut a lot of weight like she's gonna do, your shin. Easy when to get a punch for KO. So and I believe Holly Holm is gonna defend the takedown, and she's gonna do what she did for the whole life, boxing. So you see Holly never stop. This is one advantage her when she's fighting other girls. So I think it's gonna be a great night for Holly, and probably I'm gonna be there. We will talk to her. I'm gonna be there in New Mexico, train together. It's gonna be my pleasure, and I always fans the Holly. And let's see what's going to happen. But I know she's going to get the victory.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I did see the tweet to Holly's team saying, hey, Holly, I'll help you. Did they respond back to you? Is there any movement on you going to work with Holly at Jackson Wink?
Yes, all good. We're talking. I already talked to Holly. She's my dog, the name Holly.
That's right, yeah.
She's a super woman being. She's an athlete, so she did a lot of sport. And it'd be a pleasure, be there and help her training. What I had to help, then it's be good for me. I'm gonna learn too a lot of things. So I'm excited.
Good.
I just want to see what's going on for me too.
Yeah.
So
that was going to be my next question. What is next for you? Like, is it Leah McCourt? Is it Pacheco? Like, what's going to happen? What if you had to kind of predict what you think is going to happen next? Who do you think you're going to fight, or when do you think you're going to fight?
No, I want next Leah McCourt. We already faced off in Bellator last event. I think this is the right thing to do. After that can be Larissa Pacheco. it's been very difficult to work with a PFL. They have semi-culture with UFC. I was thinking about, okay, if I'm going to work with the same people I deal with UFC and Bellator PFL, why I don't work with UFC? Because a lot of people watching the fights there. So I mean, really know a lot of things. They talk to my team. I love work with Bellator. I love Scott Coker. So let's see. I want to do the best for my career and the best for myself, and let's see what's gonna happen.
Okay, interesting. And yeah, just to clarify, because I saw something with Larissa saying that you didn't want to fight her, but I know that's not the case. It's like you feel like you owe Leah the fight because it was promoted that way. You're not saying you won't fight Larissa. It's just that Leah should be first, right? Is what you're saying.
Nobody calling me and they're offering Larissa. They're calling me, offering Kayla.
Yeah.
Waiting the contract and everything was just happen. The next one is Leah. She's already on the line. And they know Pacheco is going to happen. We have a contract in the fight. And if it's supposed to be happy, it's going to happen. I'm not running from nobody, but I'm going to do the way I want to do, me and my team.
Absolutely.
So I'm a long time in the sport. And yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Okay, fair enough. And you kind of answered my question already, but is there a possibility of you going to the UFC? Just because I know it was a tough breakup, so to speak, with you in the UFC, but right now, I think, depending on, where your next fight could be, it seems like that's on the table. Do you see a possibility of you going to the UFC?
After all these things happen, I've been talking to Donn. I know about anything about signing with them, nothing about this, but I told him I forgive everything happened for a long time ago. I left the UFC, it was 6 years ago.
Has it been 6 years, really? Okay, yeah. Wow, time's flying.
It was a long time. So I did already 10 fights after I left the UFC. So it's all business. If you think about it's all about business, it's nothing personal. So I mean, let's see what's gonna happen. I don't have any problem. But like I said, if I'm gonna work one event, have a semi-culture at the UFC, why am I gonna fight? No work for them, and a lot of people gonna watch.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, I wanna finish my career doing great fights and the biggest fights, and let's see. I'm excited for the next what's gonna happen, and. Yes.
Well, and I think the downside as well with signing the UFC is you can't box, right? At least with right now, you're able to take boxing fights. That's one of the drawbacks of going back to the UFC, right? They probably wouldn't let you take any boxing fights.
We don't know. Maybe I was never gonna fight PFL. Maybe I'm gonna just boxing. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But I'm a long time in the sport. It's gonna be 19 years now.
Wow.
And I want to be happy and working, doing the biggest fight for my fans. I love my job. And all these things like really crazy, but I mean continue training and improve my game. I love fight boxing. My next fight was very success, and you see a lot of people calling me out, and they just be training and be ready.
Just last thing on this PFL stuff, do you even know if you have a contract? Like, if they told you that you're still under contract, that it transferred over with Bellator? Because it seems like with this Kayla thing, like it seemed like she was never under contract. Like, what do you have an understanding that you are under contract to PFL?
Never happened in my life. In 19 years, somebody call you, say, okay, you're going to fight this person, and they're not going to be under contract.
Right.
This is crazy. How's it going to offer somebody under? I believe maybe she has something under contract. I don't know. But she's one of the better lefty, and they're taking the consequence after. But I don't know. I really don't know.
We always end things on a lighter note here on this show. I will do our Portuguese saying of the week. So I talked about it off the top, Cris. You travel a lot. I'm sure you're taking airplanes to where you need to go. How in Portuguese do I say flying on an airplane?
Viajando.
Viajando.
De avião.
De avião. Yes. Viajando de avião.
De avião.
De avião. There we go. Okay, good. At least I'll be able to travel, which is good. That's pretty important. And like we always do, before we go, make sure you check out CrisCyborg.com. You've got the Q&As every month. You got the instructional videos. You can sign up for less than a cup of coffee. You can pay with Bitcoin. There's a lot of cool options, and you have your OnlyFans as well, which is going very well. You've got the behind the scenes videos as you're training, all that good stuff. Just anything you got coming up, Cris, let our audience know.
And I say thank you for all the people on Cyber Nation that really support me in my fight. My last boxing fight was full of people there. I was really thankful. And I'm excited for the next one, guys. Thank you for following me. And, make sure you guys can follow me at my OnlyFans. I have a video every week. It's really cool. Anybody can follow me. It's very good content there. And then thank you all, guys. You have the membership too. You go to CrisCyborg.com. And they have shirts, merchandise, everything. I really appreciate every single person. Follow me. I love you guys. And Thank you, James, for having me here in your show.